There are a lot of features people want to return in the newest Call of Duty, like pro perks, pick 10 system, factions, Piccadilly. There are many things people want. However, I want, and maybe I should over exaggerate, need this feature to return.
Let's take it the lead. Assassin. Take care of it. Extreme conditioning. Quick draw. Specialist bonus achieved.
This is Specialist, not the Specialist from Black Ops 3 and 4. No, the Specialist Strike Package. Here is a little refresher as to what Specialist even is. Originating in Modern Warfare 3, it was one of 3 strike packages you could equip, though you need to reach level 20 to unlock it. It was also the most unique since, unlike the other 2, it didn't utilize the kill streaks. Instead, you would choose 3 perks in place of those streaks, and they would be earned on the 2nd, 4th, and 6th kill, similar to the 3-5-7 streak system for COD 4 and World at War. Equipping Hardline would reduce the kills needed for the perks to 1, 3, and 5. This doesn't sound that exciting, especially since an AC-130 sounds way more fun than just perks, until you get 7 kills, or 6 if you were using Hardline, where you would unlock the true power of the Specialist perk package, gaining the power of every perk in the game plus weapon proficiencies. From what I've seen on the wiki, this was the strike package to equip if you were going for a Moab since killstreak kills did not count towards it. And if this sounds insane, you are right to think so, because if you were already good at Call of Duty, then Specialist would just make you even better. Just me saying that Specialist gave you Ninja, Assassin, and Blind Eye sounds epic. It was that good. Interestingly, Overkill cannot be selected as one of the 3 perks you'd select when you have the Specialist strike package equipped. This makes sense since this perk can only affect you when you spawn in. You can't just magically turn your secondary slot into a primary slot in the middle of a life. The Assault Strike package was meant to be lethal against the enemy team, which is why it had streaks like the AC-130, IMS, Predator Missile, those type of stuff that can kill the enemy. The Support Strike package helps your team, which is why it has things like the Advanced UAV or the EMP. It's supposed to support you, make you have an advantage, but not in a lethal way. And the Specialist Strike package makes you stronger as a player, which is why it has perks. Perks are supposed to be the self-boosting mechanic here. So you have Assault on the enemy team, supporting your team, and self-boosting. And honestly, this is a really cool concept for Call of Duty, and I feel like it was executed quite well here. Now, Specialist has appeared in 3 other games after Modern Warfare 3, Ghosts being one of them. I never played Ghosts, though I've always been fascinated by it since it is consistently considered to be one of the worst multiplayer experiences in the franchise. So it had Specialist, and it just overcomplicated things. The Specialist bonus is somewhat still a thing, however perks had some sort of point system, and depending on how strong they were, they had a certain amount of points. Then you would pick 3 perks where they would then be added together, and then Specialist would be unlocked 2 points after that. So say that the perks I had equaled to, I don't know, 10, then Specialist would be unlocked at 12. However, Specialist wouldn't even give you all of the perks in the game. You would have to pick 8 points worth of perks, and then you would unlock them once you reach the amount you needed to get Specialist. Yeah, this is way too complicated. Let's move on, please. The third game that Specialist appeared in was Infinite Warfare. However, according to the wiki, it was only in Infected and All or Nothing, which sounds lame. I mean, let's be honest, it being only in 2 modes is kind of lame. But playing Infected with the lack of Specialists in the newer games really brings down my enjoyment of the mode. The 4th and final time Specialist has appeared in a multiplayer was Modern Warfare, and Infinity Ward decided to go back to the Modern Warfare 3 system. It wasn't exactly the same, as strike packages weren't in the game. Instead, in your loadout, you could toggle Specialist on or off. Obviously, turning it on would replace your kill streaks. Now, there were 2 perks that were pretty much useless when you had Specialist equipped, those being Overkill and Kill Chain. The Overkill situation is basically the same thing as in Modern Warfare 3, there's really no differences. Although while Overkill can obviously allow you to use 2 primary weapons whether you had Specialist on or not, Kill Chain just did not do anything. What Kill Chain did was allow your killstreak kills count towards your next kill streaks, but those kill streaks had to have been earned in that life for those kills to count towards them. So let's say that I earned a cruise missile, I die, and then I get a kill with a cruise missile after. That kill will not count towards my streak progress. It was a decent perk, but if you wanted to try to relive the Modern Warfare 2 days where kill streak kills counted towards your streaks, then you could go ahead and do this. Unfortunately, kill chain would have no effect when using Specialist. It could be selected as one of the base perks like Overkill, however, even then it wouldn't even have an effect. At least with Overkill, you can select it as your base perk and it would allow you to change your class. Kill chain just does not do anything when you select it as your base perk when using Specialist. I'd also like to point out how Modern Warfare, unlike Modern Warfare 3, uses kills rather than points. So in Modern Warfare 3, it uses points for streak or specialist progress. Kills would count as 1 point, and then say you captured a domination flag, it would count as a point as well. So it was sort of a mix of Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 2's kill streak system. Modern Warfare just uses the kill streak system. Other than those changes, Specialist is quite faithful to the original in Modern Warfare 3. While Modern Warfare doesn't use points, you still have to get the lucky 7 to get the Specialist bonus. Hardline also reduces this requirement by 1 if you had it equipped, so there's that. And also like the original, Specialist is a really good option when you're going for a nuke. Albeit, earning a nuke in Modern Warfare is rather difficult since people are just way better at the game, different mechanics, and the nuke requirement has been increased to 30, so it's been pretty difficult to get a nuke in this game. I actually haven't gotten a nuke in normal 6v6 gameplay. I only get it in Infected. This version of Specialist was great for the modern mechanics that Modern Warfare had, and it's unfortunately the last time we'll see it in a multiplayer. Now, Specialist was in Warzone 1 and is now in Warzone 2, and they function similarly to one another where it was loot that you could pick up and you didn't need to be on a kill streak. There have been 3 versions of Specialist in Warzone: Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 6. The only difference between them are the perks they gave, as the perks were different between each game. Specialist in Warzone was one of the coolest things to be added, and even to this day I feel amazing when I obtain it. So Specialist is in Warzone, which is part of the latest Call of Duty, and I'm definitely happy that it's there. However, it is unfortunate that it hasn't appeared in multiplayer in 5 years. I also find it insane how it's only been in 4 multiplayers. 3 if we don't count Infinite Warfare, since it was only in 2 modes. The reason why I want Specialist in a new multiplayer is because it adds another aspect to Call of Duty that changes the core formula, but doesn't break it like how Modern Warfare 2's perk system did. I can respect the attempt that Infinity Ward made to switch things up, but we all know that the perk system in Modern Warfare 2 wasn't good. Now, kill streaks are a staple to this franchise, and Specialist doesn't replace them. They exist alongside each other, which also gives us, the players, more options for our weapon classes, which is only a good thing. And I mentioned how it's a really good option for getting a nuke. It really is, but it's also balanced. Remember, the original Modern Warfare 2 had kill streak kills count towards your nuke, which was really broken. So obviously nowadays that isn't the case. Perks are a balanced alternative for the nuke challenge as they make you stronger, but not place a huge disadvantage on the enemy team. It also allows you to use a combination of perks that wouldn't have been possible without Specialist. Sometimes I want to equip Hyler and Ghost, and unfortunately there's no perk greed in Modern Warfare. Well, Specialist is here to grant my wish. Or it even allows for perks that I wouldn't normally use, like Scavenger, to be used. There are many reasons why I want this to return, but the biggest reason is because of Infected. I briefly mentioned earlier in the video how Infected in the newer games hasn't been the best. Modern Warfare's version of Infected is my favorite, partially because of Specialist. It makes a lot of sense for survivors to become stronger whilst the Infected gain more numbers. Also, when there's one survivor left, a UAV for the Infected becomes active, which seems annoying. I mean, let's be honest, it is. However, Specialist gives you Ghost, so if you want to stay hidden, then you need to go out early in the match to get 7 kills. The newer iterations of Infected lack this, which makes them feel empty and honestly pretty boring. It's unfortunate since I used to look forward to seeing this mode get added when a new Call of Duty came out, and that's not the case anymore. Infected needs this feature to be fun. I was honestly bummed that the new Modern Warfare 3 didn't have a Specialist vest. I feel like that would have been the best game to reintroduce the mechanic after it appeared in Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare 3 brought back classic maps. Some vests acted like pro versions of perks. And to top it off, the original Modern Warfare 3 was Sledgehammer's first Call of Duty game. Now, I'm not hating on Sledgehammer or the other studios for not adding Specialist back. I just really want this feature to return. I'm curious to hear what you all think. Do you care about Specialists? Do you want him back? Do you think it was a bit too niche? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.
Where did these mother come from?
We were hiding in a bush. We were hiding in a bush.
For about 5 minutes,
We
we're gonna jump up there.
We were playing Fortnite, hiding in a bush.
I found the man. I jumped upstairs. I fucking waited to cut someone Achilles' heel. I fucking found the van. That's the
I
main
don't know if
thing.
I can accept
That's
it.
all.
GG's guys, GG's.
Jeez.